Hello and welcome back to the Goodness Margin, the place where we find margin for the good things in life. Today, I'm going to talk to you about kitchen zones. When I'm doing a consultation with a client, the most common question that I get is, where do I start? They're in their kitchen and they feel like it's not really working for them. And this is a hard-working room. We're in this room a lot, and so we need it to work for us the best way that it can. Now, I understand that many of us may live in tiny apartments, or we even lived in an RV for 2 years. But no matter what your space is like, you can still think in zones. So let me give you a few examples of some zones that are in my kitchen. Right behind me, I've got the cabinet that is for my dishes. And this is really close to my kitchen table. So it's time to set the table for dinner. We can just grab a plate, put it on the table. It's also directly above my dishwasher. We're unloading the dishwasher. We can just take the plates and immediately put them there. Now, the hardest working zone that I have is over here, right at my stove. So when I'm cooking, what do I need access to? Well, of course, I'm gonna need cooking utensils, and thankfully those are right here in this drawer. I can pull it out and grab a utensil. Also, if I need to season something, I can quickly open this cabinet and I have access to my salt and my pepper. I have access to all of my seasonings right here. So if I'm standing there, I don't have to go very far to grab what I need to complete the meal that I'm cooking. And the zone that I use multiple times a day, definitely every single morning, is my coffee zone. So when I'm making a cup of coffee, I have the coffee beans right here accessible. And then of course, my coffee mug collection. I get to pick which one I want. Now the next type of zone is where you're grouping things together. I have all of my baking things together. So when I'm baking, I am all around the kitchen. So I don't necessarily need it to be right in a space where I have access to everything, but I have everything grouped together. So when I'm looking for something, I know exactly where it is. It's the same thing for my platters that I use for entertaining, or when we're having dinner, if I need a larger platter, I keep all of those together. There's multiple reasons to do this, but one of the biggest reasons is because if I have platters all over the kitchen, I really don't know exactly what I have. So as a minimalist, I want to know that I have exactly what I need and not too much. And that way, if I keep them all together, I definitely know exactly what I have to work with. So here are a few steps to take to create zones. Number one, think what your most important zone is. For me, that zone would be where I'm standing at the stove when I'm cooking. That's something I do pretty much every night. And so I need to have access to things quickly. If I don't already have the things in the cabinets or the drawers close by, I want to empty those drawers. Take the things out that are there, take the things out of those cabinets, and replace it with the things that I need access to. And of course, step number two, when you are replacing it with the things that you need, you want to be certain that you have minimized it. Are these things that I use, that I've used frequently, that I know that I'm going to use again? Do I have duplicates? Do I have something else that does the same thing as this kitchen tool? Ask yourself those questions, and so that way you can keep a really neat and organized space because it is minimized. And once you've completed one zone, then just move on to the next zone, and before you know it, you're gonna have your kitchen very organized and working really hard for you. Last but not least, I have just a couple of tips. Of course, there are gonna be some hard to reach places. I have a space above my stove. I also have a space above my refrigerator. I have to get a step stool to reach these spaces. So of course I'll put things there that I don't need to get to very often. And one of my biggest kitchen tips is to keep your countertops as clean as possible and as clear as possible. When we create these zones where things are in places that are easy to have access to, I don't have to keep a lot of stuff on the kitchen counters because I have things in drawers and in cabinets. Our kitchens are used so often. By keeping things in zones, we will make this an enjoyable place to use and give us plenty of margin for the good things in our life. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you'll be notified when the next video goes live.